Hi, everybody. Mrs. Faust here for your music lesson this week. So, third graders, for those of you who had me last year, we're kind of going to be picking up where we left off. If you go to North Liberty, some of these things might be a little bit new for you. They might be a little bit different than how you did them with your old music teacher. And that's okay. It might take you a little bit of extra time to get used to some things. So in music class, we usually start out with some kind of a warm up, some kind of way to get our voices ready to sing. So I have with me today my handy dandy slide whistle. And we use our slide whistle to help us kind of get warmed up for singing using our high voice, our low voice, and all of the different parts of our voice in between. So just like when you have gym class, just like when you are playing a sport, you usually do a warm up before you start exercising, right? Because we don't want to pull a muscle or hurt ourselves. Our voices are made up of muscles too. So we want to get them ready to work. So with my slide whistle, I can make some pretty cool sounds. I can go from high to low like this. I can do the opposite. I can go from low to high. And I can do some other cool stuff too. Or that one, kids usually tell me sounds like Pac-Man, right? So your voice can do that too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play something on my slide whistle, and then at home, you are going to try and do the same thing with your voice. I'll show you what I mean. So then you would do this with your voice. How about another one? Try it. See if your voice can do this. How about this one? Okay, how did it go? Were you able to make slide whistle sounds with your voice? I hope you are ready to do some singing now because I have a fun little song I'm going to teach you. Now, my students have seen this sign a lot before. It has a red stop sign on one side. The other side is a green go sign. If you see the red stop sign, that means stop and listen. If you see the green go sign, that means go ahead and sing or speak. It's your turn. So I am just going to sing this song for you one time first so you can listen to it. And then I'm going to have you repeat after me. That's one way that we can easily learn songs together. So here's how it goes. This is called I've Been to Harlem, and this is a song about sailing. This is how it goes. I've been to Harlem, I've been to Dover, I've traveled this whole world wide over, 3 times over. Drink all the Pepsi and turn the glasses over. Sailing east, sailing west, sailing o'er the ocean. Better watch out when the boat begins to rock, or you'll lose your girl in the ocean. And that's all there is to it. So now I'm going to break down that song into some smaller pieces, and I want you to sing after me. So again, red stop sign means you're listening. Green go sign means sing after me. It's your turn. Let's try it. I've been to Harlem, I've been to Dover. I've traveled this whole world wide over. 3 times over. Drink all the Pepsi and turn the glasses over. Sailing east, sailing west, sailing o'er the ocean. better watch out when the boat begins to rock, or you'll lose your girl in the ocean. Okay, well, I can't hear you, but I bet you did an awesome job because I know that you all are remembering our expectations up there and you are trying your best, even though I can't see you right away. So, the great thing about our video lesson is if you didn't quite get the words the first time around, if you need another practice time, you can always back up the video and try it again. So, this kind of helps you guys be responsible for learning your own song. And everybody learns a little bit differently. Some people can get it right away at the first try, and that's awesome. But some of us need a few extra times to listen and practice, and that is fine too. Both things are okay. So if you want to go back and listen to that song and try singing it one more time, go ahead. But right now, I am going to keep moving on to the next thing. So we just sang a simple little song together. Another thing that I like to do in the music room is give our bodies a chance to do some of the work. So in my music room, we usually have lots of space to spread out. So right now, make sure in your house or wherever you are, make sure that you've got just a little bit of room to move around where you're not going to bump into anything. We are going to find our bubble of space. Now, my Walkerton friends, we did this last year when we were second graders, and we did it a little bit in first grade too. So you guys have some practice already. I'm going to explain what I mean though for my North Liberty friends who might not have talked about this before. So when I say find your bubble of space, you are going to go to a spot. And right now it's in your house. Usually it would be somewhere around the music room. And this needs to be a place where you can stretch your arms out and not touch another person and not touch anything else in the room. So right here, I'm good. I'm not touching anything else around the music room. And you should be able to turn both ways, not touching anything or anybody around you. So I can't stand, you guys can't see it, but there's a drum on the floor right here. So I can't stand right here because if I turn, I'm bumping into the drum. I'm about to knock it over. Plus, look at this. My hand is overlapping with the piano. So what I want you to do is give yourself plenty of space where you can turn around in a circle. Okay? This is your bubble of space. Now, right now, we just did some singing. We are going to let our voices rest and we are going to make our bodies do all of the work. Okay? So we're in our bubble of space. I want you to, I want you to paint the inside of your bubble. Now, I'm not going to show you what it looks like because I want you to come up with how to paint your bubble. Your feet right now are staying in one spot, but you can move with your arms and with the rest of your body to paint your bubble. You can paint it purple. You can paint it rainbow colors. You can put up SpongeBob wallpaper if you want to. This is your chance to be creative. So you are going to paint the inside of your bubble. Make sure you don't miss any spots. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is spin the ceiling fan of your bubble. What does that look like? Okay, did everybody spin your fan? Okay, try sliding open the back door. Can you slide it open and shut? Okay, how about the front door? Can you slide it? And how about this window over here? Does it open and close? Try it on the other side. Okay, now we know how big our bubble of space is, right? Okay, we are going to try a fun little game here to help us get used to moving around in our bubble of space. So I need to go grab something off the shelf really quick, and I will be back in 1 second. So get your bubble of space ready to go. All right, I'm back. I went and I grabbed my tambourine. So my tambourine kind of looks like a drum without the head, without the top part. It has these little jingly things on it. So we are going to play shake and stop. When you hear the tambourine shake, you are going to shake your body. You have to stay in your bubble of space. So you're not moving around the room. You're staying in one spot. When the tambourine stops, you are going to freeze. Make sure you freeze with 2 feet flat on the floor. I don't want anybody to fall over and get hurt. Here we go. Shake, and freeze. See how that works? Let's try it again. Freeze. And freeze. Freeze. And freeze. Okay, let's try one more. And freeze. Okay, awesome. So now we have got our bubble of space. We know how we are going to move around. We are going to do a little bit more movement. This one is called a move it. And what we're going to do is we are going to hear some music in the background. You'll have to listen really carefully because I want you to pay attention to the music and see if you can hear the patterns of the music. And you'll see what I mean in a little bit. I am going to show you some movements, and this one is mostly just with your arms. So keep that idea of your bubble of space around you. Try and fill up your whole bubble whenever you move your arms, okay? So I want you to watch me and follow along with what I'm doing. We're not talking, we're not singing, but we are listening for that music in the background. So it'll start in just a second here. I need to get my music going. Okay, so thank you for moving your body a little bit with me today. Next week, when you come back for your next music lesson, we are going to try some new things with moving and with music. So before we go, I have a couple of new songs to teach you. So if you want to go ahead and take a seat right now, you can. We've been standing up for a little bit. We have been moving our bodies. You can sit down and take a little break, but still be ready to listen. So the first thing I want to show you guys is actually not really a song. It's more of a poem. And this might even be one that you have heard before. So the first time, just listen. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Okay, that's all there is to it. Now, just like we did at the beginning, I am going to break it down into some smaller parts. So this time, repeat after me. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So did you hear how sometimes there was a funny little word on the end, like up the hill to? It sounds, whoops, sorry, I'm talking right now, it's my turn. It sounds a little bit funny, but we are going to learn why I decided to do that a little bit later on. So make sure you practice it that way right now, and we'll figure out the reason later. I would like to practice that one more time with you speaking after me. Here we go. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Okay, nice work. I bet some of you have already heard that Jack and Jill before. We are going to move on, and we're going to learn a little song here. This one is called Charlie's Meat. Okay? Let me get my notes here so I can sing it to you. Just listen the first time. Charlie's neat and Charlie's sweet. Charlie, he's a dandy. Charlie, he's the very lad that stole my striped candy. Over the river to feed my sheep. Over the river, Charlie. Over the river to feed my sheep and measure up my barley. And that is all we are going to learn for today with this song. So we're talking about Charlie. I wonder what kind of story is going on here. So it says, Charlie's neat and Charlie's sweet. Charlie, he's a dandy. Charlie, he's the very lad. Do you know what a lad is? I'll give you a second to think. Lad is another word for boy, okay? So Charlie's the very lad or the very boy who stole my striped candy. My striped candy. Oh, Charlie stole our candy? Come on. So I think he is supposed to feed our sheep. And then at the end it says, and measure up my barley. Do you know what barley is? Barley is a plant that farmers grow in the field. It's a little bit like wheat. It's a grain. It's a grass that grows up, and then it has kind of like seeds on the end that people can use to grind up for flour and things like that. So now that we know what the song's talking about, will you sing after me? Here we go. Charlie's neat and Charlie's sweet. Charlie, he's a dandy. Charlie, he's the very lad who stole my striped candy. Over the river to feed my sheep. Over the river, Charlie. Over the river to feed my sheep and measure up my barley. Okay, nice work. I trust that you all are doing your best effort right now. If you need to go back and try that again, go ahead and do that. Instead of me doing it a lot of times on this video, I am going to let you guys be in charge of whether or not you need to go and hear it again. And like I said, it's really easy. You can just back up the video and play it again. So I have one more thing before we go, and I tell you what your little assignment is this time. We are going to practice some patterns together. Last year in second grade, Walkerton students, we practiced ta, toddy, right? Tas and toddies. We also practiced ta and takida, okay? We are going to add on something new. So don't forget tas, don't forget takidas. We are going to add on a ta-da. Can you say that? Ta-da. Okay. So notice it's not ta-da, it's ta-da. You have to stretch out that ta part. Repeat after me. Takida ta-da, takida ta. Okay, did you get that little da in there? Try it again. Takida ta-da, takida ta. Try this one. Ta-da, 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 ta. Ta-da, takida, ta-da, ta. Takida, takida, ta-da, ta. Ta-da, ta-da, takida, ta. Ta-da, takida, ta-da, ta-da. That's a tricky one. Ta, ta, ta-da, ta. Ta-da, takida, takida, ta. Okay, I hope you made it all the way through. There were 8 different patterns that we just practiced. And it is important to know these patterns because they are going to show up in some of our songs that we learned this year. And we're going to figure out how to decode those patterns. If you remember decoding from last year, that's where we listen to the song and we decipher it. We figure out what patterns are hidden in there. So I am really excited to keep working on our takidas, tas, and our ta-das. That brings us to the end of our music lesson for today. Now, remember, last time we learned that there is going to be a little something to turn in at the end of our music time. So here's what we're going to do this time. You are going to get onto Flipgrid, and I will post a link on Canvas. It should be there already for you that takes you to the grid that I want you to use. And you are going to do a video of you painting the inside of your bubble. So what I'm doing right now, I have my Chromebook here sitting up on a little stand. So you can do the same thing. Put your Chromebook somewhere where I can see you and you have both your hands free, and show me your bubble of space. Show me how you paint your bubble of space. You can even tell me what color you painted it if you want to in your Flipgrid. If you have any questions about the lesson or about what you are supposed to turn in for this week, send me a Canvas message, or you can have mom, dad, whoever is helping you out with virtual school, give me a call or send me an email. So I hope that you guys are all doing well and staying safe and healthy. I'm sending lots of love to you through my computer. So we will see you next time.